attach it to our chart? Well, it's one reason why I like candlestick charts. Candlestick charts give me a very visual, easy to see representation of supply and demand. Now, it's important for you to not just focus on the body of a candlestick. Okay, that's what most traders do, is they're laser focused on the body. And that is a big, big mistake. You've got to be focused on the entire construction of the candlestick and what does that mean in terms of trading. So let's take some practical application now. Last week, the market, in this example, traded down. And this is not the current market, this is back in history. So last week, the market trades down. Coming into the next week, what happens? Well, here's your Friday break. The market continues to trade down over Sunday. In fact, it makes a double bottom coming into Sunday, or coming into the early morning hours of London trading. The market makes a double bottom down here and then starts to trade up. Well, when you're looking at price, especially on the weekly, you can see the momentum is down. It continues down, but then it gets reversed back up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, number one, in steps, and we're going to break it down into chunks and hopefully get into the flow of what happened in the marketplace. So as the market is trading and is moving down to this low, you can see what happens. Here's the first trading session of the week. And you can see this area here is lined up in this area right here. Okay? So you can see that from the prior Friday, the selling continued, popped up a bit, continued down, and then started moving up. And that's where we get this W bottom in here. So by the end of Sunday's session, and remember this is 5 p.m. Eastern Time on most Forex charts, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the 11th would put price somewhere, I'll just say in this area here. So you can see Sunday the market trades down, trades up a little bit, and then comes back down. This is what price did. Start, midpoint, near to the end, end. Well, what happens in here? Well, think about this. If supply and demand drives price, and if price is going down, then what does that mean on this side of the line? Well, it means there's supply. And there's more supply than there is demand. Well, what happens on this side of the line? Well, there's demand. There's more demand than there is supply because we see price moving up. So let me remind you of why we're even in this discussion. The question was, I see 4 massive spikes on my 10-minute chart especially. Would that be a clue to buyers coming back into the trade at these levels? And the answer, this long dissertation is to give you my answer that, well, it's likely. And remember, that's about all we can know. We can know whether it's likely or it's a high probability that buyers are coming in. We can never know for sure. But we can line up signs that will tell us whether or not it's more likely than not that buyers are coming in. So we've got the structure. We can see a practical demonstration of the supply and demand, supply on this side, demand on this side. You have a literal shift in thinking over the span of several hours from one of selling to one of buying, from one of supply to one of demand. And that simply gets expressed in the chart. And what we're going to see is this long spike. That's what he's asking. Do these spikes indicate people getting back into long positions? And I would say, well, it's likely. So let's line all of this up, if we can. From a practical standpoint, if you think about it, in the Forex market, there are really only 2 times that everyone on planet Earth has to abide by. That's the Friday open and the Friday close and the Sunday open. So when you're looking at a weekly chart, and this is why I refer to the weekly chart and why I keep coming back to the weekly chart, because I know that this is something everyone has to look at and everyone has to abide by. The daily chart over here, it closes at 5 p.m. There are some traders who have their bars closing at midnight. There are some traders who have their bars closing at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time.